Welcome to the Yes Lady with CharlaA, your encouragement solutions for outrageous business. We're going to show you every week some tips, tricks, mindset changes, and encouragement on how to assist your bottom line. I've got an incredible guest with me today, mShane Kuhn.
Hi.
It's time to say yes to your future. Each week, CharlaA interviews business owners that are breaking the mold. Tune in each Thursday to discover how you can too. Here's your host, the Yes Lady herself, CharlaA.
And because I know this about you, I'm going to actually read this bio. I think it's incredible. So mShane Kuhn is a trusted visionary recognized worldwide for both discerning the future with penetrating insight, remarkable clarity, and amazing accuracy, while also applying his expertise, skills, experience, intelligence, and energy to benefit others as an entrepreneur, thought leader, and philanthropist. And I do know that's who you are. Otherwise, I wouldn't have read that.
Thank you.
and it's a mouthful, though. And so I want to know a little bit about who you are. Just introduce yourself as you would, and then we're going to talk about some most amazing subjects. One of them, we met at a cryptocurrency event,
Yep.
and then we became really good friends and have become business associates since then with a couple of different things. The most exciting, probably by far, is a new TV show coming out called America's Real Deal, powered by Independent Stock Market. Mm-hmm. And we're going to discuss that today, and it's going to be amazing, and you're going to be blown away.
Well, I'm blown away, so I hope they are too.
If you're blown away. So tell us a little bit who you are and why you're here with me today.
Well, I always tell people I grew up in a small town with 150 people, 17 dogs, 14 cats, that kind of thing. Not too far from here, actually, but I have lived around the world, worked around the world, and I have come to know that relationships matter more than anything else, that connections are precious, and you need to honor those and cultivate those, and that if you can spend your life benefiting other people, you'll get everything you want and need out of life, but you'll also make a difference and help other people. And so I try to spend every waking minute doing that.
And you have for me, truly.
Well, good.
But what we want to know today, and what we're going to tell our business owners that are listening to this and watching this TV show, is there's something really fascinating and new on the business horizon.
That's right.
That has never been done before.
Nope.
And it's going to change. This is what I believe. I believe we're going to bring Main Street back from Wall Street. I believe we're going to put the dream back into American.
Yeah.
So why is this so exciting? Tell me, I think you even invented a word.
Well, some people know me for having coined the phrase rehopagizing the American dream. And it's such an interesting time in our world right now. For people like me who are, citizens of the world, kind of, I'd love to live in Prague. That's my dream someday, is to live in Prague.
I've been there. Love it.
It's a great place.
Mm-hmm.
I love Salzburg and Vienna and places like that. And so, I have a profound sense of awareness of how fortunate I am to be an American citizen. And growing up here in America, in a small town, and just the DNA of Americans is hopeful, optimistic, industrious. It's a powerful kind of DNA that we have, people who are born in this country. There seems to be so much upheaval going on in the world right now, whether we're talking politically, we're obviously dealing with Syria and Russia and Iran and all that stuff that's going on. If you just look back over the past 5 years and you look at Brexit and the elections that we had here in 2016, there's just so much political upheaval, but there's also a lot of business upheaval. One of the key business words that's been used in the last 5 years is disruption. There's so much disruption going on. And it just seems like no matter what area that you're looking at, whether it's politics or business or the spiritual world, or there's just so much upheaval and turmoil and chaos. And I think that one of the effects that that's had on a lot of people in America is for them to get away from that hopeful, optimistic, freedom-oriented,
Exactly.
because they're so worried or they're so focused on other things. And I tell people that, opportunity, freedom, those are the bedrocks of America. America is different because the assumption here is that all people should be free. The assumption here is that opportunity is going to come to me, and I need to seize it when it comes and grasp it and hold on for dear life. That is different than it is in any other place on earth.
And you know why there's no dream after any other country? We've got the American dream,
that's right.
and people all over the world want to come to America.
That's right.
As crazy as we here think it has, and I believe that somehow the American dream has kind of lost itself. So let's get right into the independent stock market, and how does that compare to Wall Street stock market? And describe a little bit about the independent stock market, which is a non-Wall Street market.
Yeah, it's I was mentioning the upheaval, and there's also been a lot of new legislation passed in the last 10 years or so in America that's given rise to some new things. Of course, we have all the cryptocurrency stuff that's going on in the world and really changing the way people are funding some things. And then we've had crowdfunding, this whole idea of people getting together and doing things. And so legislation never keeps up with technology, but there was some legislation passed in the past few years that has allowed now for a different kind of approach toward investing. And so in the old days, in the last 100 years, you basically had the New York Stock Exchange come on in 1817. So last year was the 200th anniversary year of that. And then in 1971, you had the NASDAQ market come on. And it kind of got coined as the tech market. And so you have Microsoft and Apple and Google that are all listed on NASDAQ. But those are Wall Street-based markets, and they tend to be all about profit, which is what you would expect from a capitalist system like we have in America. But there were some people who wanted to get away from that, who wanted to put the emphasis back on investing in people. And not
People
in,
helping people. I know that's
people
what...
investing in people.
Yes.
Instead of stop trading stocks and start investing in companies, start investing in people. And so that group of people has come together. They've gotten approval and licensing from the Securities Exchange Commission, or the SEC. And so now we have a third stock market in the United States. It's not necessarily the third one, but it's a stock market that is like New York Stock Exchange. It's like the NASDAQ.
And it's really global, though. You said in the United States, but
Well,
ultimately,
yeah.
it is a global stock market.
That's the thing is, so much of what's going on in our world is disrupted because of technology. Carly Fiorina, who was the first CEO as a female of a Fortune 500 company with Hewlett-Packard, she likes to talk about disruption being, you have to have a disruptive product, but you also have to disrupt the intermediaries, the people the establishment, if you will. And so with what ISM, the independent stock market, is doing, is they're harnessing the current technologies. And so it's not a market that's only open certain times of the day, Monday through Friday. It's 24/7. It's not a market that's only housed in one country. It's going to be global. It's not a market that is shackled by some of the old constraints, the brick and mortar type constraints. It's much more that Uber, Airbnb, Amazon, new tech kind of basis for the market. And it's going to be an amazingly huge deal and transform the way people invest in the next 10 years.
It's beyond exciting, and it's hard for people to grasp how critical that is. So one of the differences I understand is Wall Street has manipulation, derivatives, pump and dump, and so many companies ultimately lose control of their company. and they pump it up and then they short sell, and all of a sudden the company is gone or the ownership has gone. And a lot of companies do not want to do that.
That's right.
If they do want to do it, it's really expensive and very hard and very time consuming and just very, very hard to keep up with. Yeah. So Adam Brantley, our CEO of the independent stock market, has birthed this 8-year baby, right, that just has come out that is going to change all of that. So people are going to invest in people from startups that could use this, $30,000, I think, all the way up to companies going public with the independent stock market and getting debt-free capital, without losing control of their company.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
and
a crazy
up to
thing.
up to $5 million as of right now. So how do people do that? How are there? We want to do a little bit more comparison about this Wall Street.
Well, what's interesting about the independent stock market is that it's a piece of a larger puzzle. I kid with Adam sometimes, and I call us, the people who are involved, Nextus, because it's kind of a combination of the word next and nexus, which is a convergence of things. Because independent stock market is just a piece of this thing that we're doing. And so independent stock market is the market. It's the place where you can have liquidity, where people, the point of a stock market has always been to bring investors and entrepreneurs to the same place where they can get from each other what they need. So the investors come to be able to put their capital to work and make a return, a profitable return. And entrepreneurs come to be able to give the investors the opportunities to invest in and to be able to get the capital they need. So the independent stock market is that market piece. But then we have something we'll talk more about later, I'm sure, which is America's Real Deal, which is this incredible TV show that's going to be on, and that drives exposure for that. So that's a second piece.
So we're going to take a quick break because I want to get right into the America's Real Deal TV show. We're going to, the Yes Lady with CharlaA with mShane Kuhn. We'll be right back after these messages.
The American business economy is positioned as it has never been before. Professional videography is a core element for attracting a higher level of engagement with the people group you need for significant impact. Now is your time to shine. My name is Bill Brock, owner of White Rock Films, and I invite you to a powerful opportunity in the marketplace. An opportunity to draw excited people to your events, an opportunity to showcase your ideas on infrastructure, an opportunity to become known as the industry authority and enjoy the associated benefits of a strong, influential brand. Video highlights, video teaches. Video puts a resistant market at ease, and video stirs the hearts and imaginations of your allies and strategic client base. White Rock Films offers full audio, video production for businesses ready to embrace the future, handling your project with professionalism, experience, and polish unheard of in the industry. My name is Bill Brock, and White Rock Films wants your business. See us online at whiterockfilms.com.
Experience the Zeal difference.
It's my favorite beverage.
I never thought nutrition could taste so good.
I know it's why I feel the best I've ever felt.
Wouldn't start my day without this beverage.
Every once in a while, a product comes along that's so innovative, it has the ability to shake up how we feel about nutrition. You're about to be introduced to a one-of-a-kind nutritional powerhouse. It's scientifically formulated and backed by a landmark clinical trial. This wellness product has created a movement that has already generated over $300 million in sales. It continues to change lives, create a thirst in people to be healthier, and is inspiring generations in ways other beverages simply do not. It's called Zeal, and thousands of people worldwide, just like you, appreciate that it takes the guesswork out of nutrition and why it's loved by so many. If you don't experience the Zeal difference in 30 days, we'll refund your money. Join us in this movement and experience the Zeal difference.
The Yes Lady with CharlaA is back here, and we're talking with mShane Kuhn about the independent stock market and America's Real Deal TV show. And Shane, you were just saying, and I know you wanted to finish that thought before we took the break.
Well, I was just saying that this thing that we're, it's hard to call it America's Real Deal or independent stock market because it's bigger than that, but it's a three-piece thing. It's got the marketplace, ISM, it's got the TV show that drives exposure, and then it's also got what they call equity crowdfunding, which was a direct result of the 2012 Jobs Act. Now, most people who are watching this, most of your viewers will probably be only familiar with what's called rewards-based crowdfunding. And rewards-based crowdfunding, they would know from Kickstarter, GoFundMe, Indiegogo, those kinds of platforms. And those are typically platforms where, say, an author or a band or somebody is producing a product and they're going to ask for donations to help get that baby birthed, and then they're going to maybe give a discount or a free CD or whatever for participating and helping them do that. So that's why they call it rewards-based crowdfunding. But what we're talking about is equity crowdfunding, and that was a direct result of the 2012 Jobs Act. Congress wanted, and President Obama wanted for the entrepreneurial class in America to be able to raise funds to start businesses, but that wasn't allowed because of the old SEC laws and things that were on the books. And so this 2012 Jobs Act really changed that. And so now you have this three-piece amalgamation that has never happened in history, where that equity crowdfunding thing has allowed, there's a lot of companies that are startups, and everybody loves startups. They're exciting, you get to be a part of a startup and work out of the back of a van down by the river.
Except they're all hungry. They have no money.
Right. So you have Apple in 1976, right, where people are literally living out of their van working on the projects together. And then you have public companies, and everybody likes to be part of the public company because it's exciting and it's sexy, and you get nice trips and all that stuff. But most companies in America are not startups and they're not public. They're 85-90% of those companies are in the middle somewhere, and whether they're middle-sized companies or large companies, they've not had a good way to raise funding. So you mentioned debt-free capital, and kind of the point of all this is that we have a way now to facilitate companies growing from mom and pop, startup, through the mid-size with equity crowdfunding, into a going public client that can be on the independent stock market. And we've got the television show to help drive that process. And so, I always tell people when you say debt-free capital to a business owner, and I know I'm talking to the business owners here in the local area, when you say debt-free capital, I always explain it to them. It's like the Tasmanian devil when you were a kid. You're watching the cartoon with the Tasmanian devil, and some person on the TV show is yakking on and on about whatever they're talking about, and the Tasmanian devil's watching, and all of a sudden he sees that person turn into like a giant ham or something. When you say debt-free capital to a business owner, they kind of glaze over and go, debt-free capital. I mean, it's just...
They never heard it before.
Yeah, it's like, what in the world is that, And so to be able to put that hope back out there for people who are entrepreneurs, to be able to say to them, it's okay to dream. Dream big. We changed the world. Just one quick comment, everybody's up in arms right now about President Trump and the trade tariffs and all the stuff that's going on with that. And one of the big problems we've been having is China's been stealing our intellectual property for a long time. But they steal ours because they don't have it. Mm-hmm. We make the intellectual property in this world. We just passed in the last month over 1 million or 10 million patents. There's never been a nation on the earth that has even approached that number of patents or trademarks or anything about intellectual property. That is what we do in this country. We invent, we innovate, we develop solutions to problems, and we want the owners of the businesses here to know that if they need help with coaching or capital, which are the two main things that keep businesses down, we have that. We can get them debt-free capital, we can get them coaching.
So there's something, this is so much, it's brand new. Nobody knows about it.
Very few people know about it.
We found out about it and have become independent stock club market club owners.
Investment club owners.
Investment club owners. Everyone has to come through one of us, right now, as it stands. And you were saying too about public companies and the private companies. Do you mind describing that a little bit to make that differentiation?
Well, and this is one of the big things about ISM and why it's so important. Private companies are companies that are owned by private individuals, whether it be an individual or a family or even a group of people. But public companies mean companies that are owned and the general public can go on to the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ or the ISM and acquire equity or ownership in that company. It is very important that if you're an investor, you know, we really don't have to work on this very much, because if I ask an investor what's the most important thing, every investor is going to say, when and how do I get my money back? You know, that's what, I mean, when you're giving somebody money, that's really all you care about usually. And so for an investor, if I acquire stock or if I take ownership in a private company, I really don't have any way to get my investment back. If I hold it over the head of an owner as a loan, I'm just putting pressure on that business. But liquidity is why stock markets exist, because I own shares now in a public company, which means there are other people who would like to own those shares. And if I want to go sell them, I can cash out or get my money back or sell part of my shares or all of them. And that liquidity is a huge benefit for investors. So if you're listening out there and you're wanting to invest, you already know that when and how am I getting my money back is the issue. But you may not know that liquidity through a stock market is usually the best answer.
That's fascinating. And the most exciting piece of it all yet, even though that's very exciting, the reason it's so exciting is because there is a new TV show coming out.
Right, yeah.
So Shark Tank marries American Idol, has the baby, and the baby is America's Real Deal TV
The Love
show.
Child, America's Real Deal, yeah.
And it's truly amazing. So what's most exciting about this new TV show called America's Real Deal is that Shark Tank marries American Idol, has the baby, and the baby is America's Real Deal TV show powered by the independent stock market.
Right.
You will be able to be anywhere you have an app watching that show and invest in those companies and buy those products. It's genius, it's timely, it's critical for such a time as this. Yeah. We have, it'll be airing this fall, the original shark, Kevin Harrington, and the queen of QVC, Forbes Riley, are going to be the hosts. We're going to be having pop-up events or pitch events, kind of like American Idol, and they'll be coming along this summer, and you can bring your business to the American public.
Yeah, I would just encourage everybody to go to your website and keep up with your website, because we'll have details coming out about when and where. We are planning on having sometime in June a pop-up event here in Dallas. And the cool thing about that is if you're a business owner, there's about 55,000 businesses a year that want to be on Shark Tank. It wasn't like that the first year. And next year it'll be like that with America's Real Deal, because everybody will know about it. But this year you could be one of those 500,000 companies that show up and have a much better chance of being on the show.
And you can get a little bit of a head start by going through one of us. My website is charlaa.ismclub.com. charlaa.ismclub.com. And there'll be more information about that. We'll be having a pop-up event in the Fort Worth area this summer, I believe. Yeah. So this is Charla Anderson so this is the Yes Lady with CharlaA, and we'll be back in just a moment with your split-second transformation. This is Charla Anderson, the Yes Lady with your split-second transformation, powered by Zeal. Be still and know. You know that you can meditate anytime, any place, and you can meditate in just a few seconds and a few breaths. It doesn't take long, and it's not hard. I want to encourage you to understand that you do not have to force your thoughts to stop. That's impossible. It's almost impossible. Or to force concentration. If you would take just a few seconds and take a deep breath. But before you do that, there's this little thing I call mine Charla's Chatterbox. This little chatterbox never shuts up, and it is designed to keep you safe and keep you in your past. So if you can give this chatterbox a little job to do, thank you for watching my breasts. Would you just watch my breasts? Give your chatterbox a job to do, and then focus on your breasts. Take in, out, in and out, and focus on your breasts. And your chatterbox can actually focus on your breasts and kind of be still. But those thoughts that float in and out, just love them and let them go. Just let them float, because it's really challenging to stop them. But if you can take just 2 or 3 breaths several times a day, while you're driving even, while you're in a meeting, while you're waiting in line, you're going to keep grounded. You're going to get more grounded and centered, and you'll be able to hear that still small voice that your heart wants you to hear, and let your spirit tell you what it wants to tell you, because you can be still and know that still small voice will tell you the truth. And I want you to understand it's not challenging. It's easy. Just remember to be still and know. And this is your Charla Anderson, the Yes Lady with your split-second transformation, powered by Zeal. And Zeal is my nutritional beverage of choice. I love it. I shake it and take it, grab and go. It's 14,000 milligrams of superfoods in this one tiny bottle, and it tastes great. Charla.zealforlife.com. That's charla.zealforlife.com.
That's all for the Yes Lady with CharlaA today. The Yes Lady with CharlaA is produced by the OBBM Network and available on demand at offbeatbusinessmedia.com. The Yes Lady also airs each Thursday at 12 and 8 p.m. on OBBM Radio, available on iTunes and offbeatbusinessmedia.com. Download the Offbeat Business app to get the Yes Lady TV and podcast on demand. To be a guest on the Yes Lady, call 817-808-7703.